Welcome back to another episode of Across the Bifrost. I'm your host, or co-host, I should say. I gotta get used to that. Co-host, Dr. Norbert, calling you from the interwebs.
Yes, the interwebs. Very good, because we're talking about Spiderfoes and they hate webs. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, you
nice, like that.
Yeah. I'm Jamie. I'm the other one. So what are we talking about today?
Today, we are going to finish our review of the new Spiderfoes box that came out. Our previous episode, if you missed it, had Sandman and Vulture featured in the main segment. And today, we're going to be doing the other two characters, first Shocker and then Electro. Shall we get into it?
Yes.
All right, brilliant. Let's talk about Shocker first. As we've noted, also on a 50 millimeter base. His stats are, he's a 3 threat. He's 5 power. 5 health, size 2, and moves medium. And his defense stats are 4, 3, and 3. Anything stand out to you here?
Quite good. 4-3-3 for a 3 threat, fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that there was a lot of talk before this box came out. Now, we're going to focus on what this character is and not what this character is not. But there was a lot of talk when this came out of if there would be a 2 threat. Because Spiderfoes getting an affiliated 2 threat makes a lot of their kind of team building easier, and people were kind of weighing up: is it going to be Shocker or Vulture? I think more people thought it was going to be Shocker, and then this character came out, and they're all 3 threats. Well, sorry, they're all 3s and 4 threats. Wait, hang on, is there a 5 threat? Maybe we'll get to that. But yes, they're all 4 threats, all 3 threats. So that was a bit disappointing for people, but I mean, at least it kind of makes his kit, he's got a lot more to him, which we're going to go over now. So yeah, I mean, but at first, 4-3-3, 5 health, pretty nice, standard.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the stats are quite nice. He's got 5 health on this side. His card is identical on his back side, so he'll have another 5 health on the other side, which I think might be what people are a little bit down on him because he doesn't have as much staying power as maybe a 3 threat through would. Be interesting if this guy were a 2 threat. We should talk about that after we look at his card. Okay, he's got 2 attacks. The first one is a builder. It's physical, called Vibro Shock Strike. It's range 3, 5 power, and 5 dice and no power. As I said, after the attack is resolved, he gains power equal to the damage dealt, and he has a wild stun. So after the attack is resolved, the target character gains a stun. Then his spender, which is 4 power, is energy, and it's called Shake 'em Down, which is great. Range 3, 7 dice. And here, if he rolls a wild, he gets stagger. After the attack resolved, the target character gains stagger. Mm-hmm. So I think, really functional types of attacks. Nothing too crazy. The stagger is always super nice, but of course you have to roll the wild on 7 dice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, medium base, medium move, and then a range 3 builder is very good.
Yes.
I believe that gives you an attack on the midline, round 1. So if you deploy him directly opposite a point, and then he can then hit that person, which is nice. Stun is situationally amazing. Characters like Cosmic Ghost Rider, Thor 2, if you get a stun on them early, it cripples them. So that's really nice as well. And then 4-cost spender, which is the thing that every character in this box has. They have a 4-cost spender. We spoke about last episode, but we think that because they're designed to go under Doc Cock, that they get the extra power for the leadership, which means they can have kind of cool spenders. This one feels like it's not quite worth the 4-cost. I think that we see the common spender nowadays is a 7 dice for 3 power. Most new characters seem to have that. I think AMG seem to be quite happy with that. He's paying 1 more, and I guess because stagger is the best condition to give out, probably. I don't know. It feels a bit stingy. But when you get a wild stagger, that's great from a 3 threat.
Sure. But I think the money is on the builder. Range 3 builders are amazing. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that's good. Okay, he's got 1 reactive superpower. It's called Vibrational Shield. It costs 2 power. When this character is targeted by either a physical or energy attack, it may use the superpower. Add 2 dice to this character's defense roll against that attack. Now it's getting a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's going to go to defense 6 and 5.
Yeah, which is
great.
Yeah, great for a 3 threat.
Yeah, cost 2 power, of course.
Yeah.
So you're not always going to have that. So it's one of those balances. Now you've played X-Men for a long time, who have these sort of stats and also 5 health. That's the important thing, 5 health. So it's a dangerous dance to try to get this guy to have enough power from getting beaten up, but also not then getting dazed straight away, so that he can actually use this superpower.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and you also play X-Men. I know you're trying to hand it off to me so that I'm the one that's negative about this. We've both felt the X-Men pain, which is, 5 health characters that pay 2 to add 2 dice to their defense roll. You pay 2 and then you block nothing anyway. And yeah, so I think I personally, I don't like dice maths. I don't want to know the maths. I just like to roll dice and figure it out later. I don't know what the maths are on this, but I've started recently thinking that paying 2 for 2 defense dice isn't very good, because the dice are weighted to attacks. That's how the game is. Attacks are better. So defense dice aren't that good. Unless you're counting blanks, then that changes everything, right? If you can add 2 dice and you're counting blanks, then obviously that is great. But you're not here on Shocker. So I think the thing is, you've paid 2 power and you've had a great block, and then you've taken no damage, but you now have no power because you spent 2 for it. Or you've spent 2 power, blocked nothing, and dazed anyway, and now you have 2 power less. So it never feels like great, really. I don't know, but perhaps dice maths can prove me wrong on that. But I don't rate this. I think AMG rate this quite highly as a defense mechanic.
Yes,
and I'm saying that as a jaded X-Men player, and so are you, because you know what it feels like. Because every X-Men character has this, and it's like not that good.
Yeah, because it's just flat dice. It's there's no
exactly. Cable is the exception. I think Cable pays 2 to give it to others, and I think that's fine, because Cable is great at generating power, so you don't care that you're spending it on others. It's when you're paying for it yourself, because you're then probably not getting the power back, and it just hurts.
Yeah. Now, he does have an interesting passive. This is the part that I think is really interesting with him when I've played against him. It's called If the Ground is Rocking. When an enemy character within 2 of this character makes an attack, it rolls 1 fewer die on its attack roll. So it's effectively like a shock, but importantly, it will also stack with shock.
Yes. Yeah. Big time.
So I think this is quite interesting, and this is what has been played against me, is that basically he runs, if there's a scrum going on, and he runs into the middle of it, basically, you either have to take him out first, or you just have to suck up the 1 fewer die each time you attack, which really sucks a lot of times.
Yeah, anyone that's had shock will know that, you really don't want to spend an action shaking it, but your attacks feel so much worse when you're shocked. It just really nerfs everything. And this stacks with that. Hilariously, he's called Shocker, but can't give out shock. Probably because that would be way too much. Imagine being shocked and this guy was next to you. You're rolling 2 less attack dice. It's horrible. Yeah. So I can see why they did that.
No good. His last passive immunity, a superpower, is that has immunity to stun.
Yeah.
Which is nice and fluffy.
Nice and fluffy. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So on balance, I think it's fine. Like I said, I think for me, the money is on the If the Ground is Rocking ability, so getting him in interesting places. So he's another support staff character.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that If the Ground is Rocking is why you take Shocker. It's the only reason you take him. He brings nothing else that exciting or unique at all, remotely, actually. Immunity to stun is nice. If you're playing Mayor Fisk, he's not going to be getting stunned. But yeah, I think you're taking it for that. I mean, you've played him. Is that why you took him?
I played against him.
I played against him. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And was it annoying?
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
Very much so. Because I had to take him out. You know what I mean? Which I didn't really want to, because there's other more imposing characters that were around me.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing with Shocker, right? Do you ignore him? And then, you get a couple stuns, maybe a stagger, and you're rolling one as attack dice? Or do you put resources into dealing with him, which then, he's basically a bodyguard that is not bodyguarding. It's kind of interesting, He's
it's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Attention. Now, I am biased here because I think I'm the world's biggest Honey Badger fan. I love Honey Badger. People are so down on her. Some people love her as well. There's a bit of a fan club. But some people are down on her because she's a 2 threat that can't score points. But she has something similar to this with Ankle Biter. So you roll 1 less defense dice when she stood next to you. And let me tell you, it's not that big a deal, but your opponent thinks it's a big deal. And I've had so many people put attacks into Honey Badger or like throwing her away, where they could throw others, namely X23, who she's next to. If they throw her into someone, she has that adamantium skeleton rule, which means she does a lot of damage by getting thrown into her friends. people usually spend their throws on Honey Badger just because they're so obsessed with not rolling one less defense dice, and that in itself is a defense. You know, it's a 2-threat that's annoying you. Now, if this was a 2-threat with, you know, worse stats but that same rule, I think he'd be amazing. I
was just gonna say, what do you think? So, because that's the big thing. Honey Badger is a 2-threat.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. So you think if you just swapped his threat here to 2, what would that be overpowered?
Yeah, I mean, he's still 4-3-3, right? He'd have to lose some stuff there. You know, he'd have to be a 3-3-2 or something, you know, like Bullseye, and, you know, a few less dice on his thing. But, like, you know, a 2-threat giving out stagger is probably danger zone. You probably don't want that. But that, if the ground is rocking ability, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a 2-threat at some point in his lifetime. And they kind of bumped him up because, and to be fair, in defense of AMG here, I think the 2-threats are horrible to balance. I would not want to be in the shoes of someone who has to balance a 2-threat in this game, because you can make the perfect 2-threat for Spiderfoes, and then they suddenly get splashed everywhere else, and they become a problem, right? We've seen that with Toad and Bullseye. And Okoye back in the day as well, is like, you just slam dunk him into it. You know, are you trying to kill people? Bullseye's your man. Or are you trying to score points? Take Toad. They're the best at what they do because they're so cheap. So I completely understand why AMG they haven't released any 2-threats since Honey Badger, and I think, this is my hot take, I know we don't do hot takes on this podcast, but my hot take is I don't think we're going to see a 2-threat ever again.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
I think they're too difficult to balance, and I support it, to be honest, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Meanwhile, I'm hoping for a threat 1 character.
You just want J. Jonah Jameson in the game.
They're amazing.
You have grunts. That's close enough.
Well, it's just that you've built them into 2. You know, why have 2 as a minimum if you're not going to do 1 at some point?
That's the problem, though, because you just get, like, suddenly, you know, the best 16 threat in the game is going to be Thanos, Red Skull, Zemo, and J. Jonah Jameson. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be awful. But anyway,
all right.
Let's not talk about what he isn't. Let's talk about what he is. And
Crims, can you find a place for him in Crims, which is his other affiliation?
Totally, right? You'd play him in Kingpin, wouldn't you?
In Kingpin? Yeah, possibly. I mean, if people are trying to crowd me on a point, you know, because they have to put 2 characters instead of just 1 on the point, you know, throw him in there, and now suddenly they're not attacking terribly well.
Yeah,
so that's good.
He's a medium-based medium move, right? So he's fast. So I can imagine him diving a back point. For anyone that doesn't know, a medium-based medium move from deployment can reach basically any secure in the game except a back D. So like a Mutant Madman or Infinity Formula, you can double move and be on that back point. So if you're playing Kingpin, that's usually the tactic, is you chuck someone on their back point when they don't expect it, and your healthy characters count as 2 for scoring, so you're suddenly stealing their points. Now, if Shocker's there, now they've got to punch him, and they're rolling less dice, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I don't think Shadowland Daredevil benefits very much, nor MODOK 2 or Claw, for that matter.
Not really. I think this is another guy who is Spiderfoes through and through, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And actually, we should talk about, sorry, we should give him some credit. Hold on. We've been quite down on him. So him and Spiderfoes, right? Spiderfoes under Doc Ock, the leadership is basically, if you attack me and I survive, I get extra power. Now, this guy is all about that. He's paying 2 to give himself extra dice, meaning he's more likely to survive, which makes my point of paying for defense dice a bit less relevant, because he's going to get an extra power if he survives, so it might be worth doing. And then if the ground is rocking, all of their attacks are worse, so you're more likely to survive the attacks and then get extra power.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it helps. That ability helps him, too. So, in a sense, he's got defense 5-4-4.
In a way.
Before you buy anything.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, for sure. And just, the more survivability you can cram into Spiderfoes, the more uses of the leadership you're going to get out. And I think that's great. And, you know, Shocker might not be, you know, the MVP in Spiderfoes, but Rhino is, Lizard is, Doc Ock is, you know, they're all amazing, Mysterio. Yeah. And if Shocker can keep any of them alive for like 1 attack longer, you know, that's pretty great, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that, again, you have to be sensible about how you use him. But if you do, then he could actually be really quite annoying.
Yeah, for sure. I think don't discount him based on his, you know, kit being kind of normal. He's got that, you know, if the ground comes what is it? Don't come a knocking. What's it called? If the ground is a rocking, it's a very unique ability, and I think it has a very niche use and could be really good and really annoying, especially into, like, you know, we're in a kind of kaiju meta at the moment, some would say, right? You're going against Thor 2 and stuff like that. If you can force Thor or, you know, a Cosmic Ghost Rider or someone big to hit your 3-threat Shocker because they're annoyed by rolling less attack dice, I think that's a win, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Honey Badger. I think people see her as not very good because she just dies. And it's like, yes, she died, but they had to spend resources on killing her, which isn't going into the rest of your team who can now do their job better. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, cool. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any tactics cards attached to him, according to Jarvis's protocol. So I think we're done with him.
All right. Thanks, Shocker. Herman Schultz. Is that his name? Herman Schultz?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Does he have a good alter ego? Let's see. Herman Schultz. No.
Does that mean something? Does that mean like rocking ground or something? What does Schultz mean?
No. Schultz.
Schultz means village headman or constable sheriff.
Okay.
So not really.
Not really.
What does Herman mean? No. Herman means army man. Okay. Marvel have dropped the ball on that one a little bit.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah.
Sad. They were doing so well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the last character in the box, and that is Electro.
Does he have a cool name?
Yeah, Max Dillon.
Max, as in max voltage. Very good.
Yeah, max voltage, I suppose.
Yeah.
But Dillon?
Is that a stretch? Maybe that's a stretch.
Yeah, it's a little stretch. Okay, he is also on a 50 millimeter base, so they all in the box are on 50 millimeter base.
Except the sounds constructs, which
yes, importantly, somebody in the local London meta did not get that memo and came with them on 50 millimeter bases, which is fun. He is 4 threat. He's got 6 hit points on his healthy side and 6 on his back side. He is identical on both sides, as it turns out. He is size 2, moves short, another short mover. Could be bad, but maybe not.
Sounds slow.
Sounds slow. His defenses are 3 physical, 4 energy, and 3 mystic. Makes sense that he's got a higher energy defense, but otherwise this guy looks fairly standard for a 4 threats, apart from being a bit slow.
Yeah, medium-based slow move is fine. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not too
Kingpin.
bad. It's no
Kingpin is that, right? It's fine.
That's true.
If only there was something on the card that made him faster.
Yeah, if only. So let's just do that. Let's break the mold and just go straight into the superpowers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I think it matters because people be like, "Oh, this seems really weird."
Yeah.
Right. He's got an active superpower, which is just outrageous. This is so. It's so fun. It's called Ride the Wires, which is a very good name. Costs 2 power. Choose a terrain feature of size 2 or greater within 3 of this character. This character drops all objective tokens it is holding. Then it is placed within 2 of the chosen terrain feature. You can only use it once per turn, which is unreal. This guy, you can't hide from him. It's such a nightmare.
And I've tried. I've tried many times. You can't hide from him. Yeah.
If you set up tables in an appropriate way that AMG suggests, I know everybody's got local shops or at their homes that they kind of skimp on terrain, then it gets a little interesting. But if you use the correct density of terrain that AMG suggests, this is unreal. Yep. This guy goes anywhere he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's size 2 or greater. So basically all the terrain, except, the bins. The little dust
Not
bins.
even the bins, the street lamps. And
the traffic lights, So except those. But size 2 or greater, which is basically all the terrain. Within 3 of him, he then is placed within 2 of it. Now, terrain can be huge. The Daily Bugle alone is size 3, right? The Daily Bugle, and that's like, how big is that? There's probably another
6 inches.
Yeah, probably another range 3, right?
Range 3.
So if you're range 3 from a Bugle and then place 2 beyond that, that's like ridiculous. No one has this movement. This is the fastest character in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Even Juggernaut would struggle, and he could do it for 2 power. Juggernaut can go the furthest out of anyone, and he has to spend like 3 power at a time, right? So 3, 6, 9. He can kind of go the other side of the board. This guy can do basically the same for 2 power. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I only see him actually move the turn 1 or round 1 because after that he uses his actions to fight and instead moves using this Ride the Wires ability.
Exactly, yeah, because his attacks, which we'll get onto, are good. His build is good, so he has the power. He's usually in Spiderfoes, not always, but in Spiderfoes he gets the power. So he's just constantly riding them waves wherever he wants. You can't run from him, and I've tried so many times.
Yeah. So it's nuisance. So let's see what happens when he gets near you. So let's go to his attacks. He's got 2 attacks. The first is a builder. It's a energy attack called Electric Discharge. It's range 4, fantastic range. So again, you've moved him some crazy amount, and now he's got a range 4 builder. Jesus. 5 dice, 0 power. You get power equal to the damage dealt, and then if you roll a wild, you get a shock after the attack is resolved. Okay, so fairly standard, except for the fact that he can reach pretty much anywhere with that. And electric and energy attacks are the most impactful in the game because the defense dice tend to be the worst.
For some, Mystic. There's an argument for Mystic, but energy is a sought after resource for sure.
So the second attack is energy as well, called Overload the Grid, range 3, 6 dice, costs 4. So again, expensive spender. We talked about that Doc Ock gives them power from the from the leadership, so maybe not as impactful as it would look like on the card. Anyhow, in addition to the 6 dice, when creating the dice pool for this attack, you may destroy a terrain feature of size 3 or less within 3 of this character, which is far away. If you do, add dice to the attack roll equal to the destroyed terrain feature size. Boom.
Yeah, big.
So size 5 too, then. No, size 3.
3 or less.
Pardon, size 3 or less.
3 or less. So it's maxed at 3 extra dice. So you can do 9 dice attacks, which are great. For range 3, fantastic. Hilariously, you might not want to because you're removing terrain, and Ride the Wise doesn't remove the terrain. No. So you actually might not want to do this sometimes because you want more terrain around so you can fly around. But this is great. This is for when you've finally, you've traversed half the board and you need to kill someone, you just smash the terrain and throw 9 dice at them, up to 9 dice. Really cool. Yeah,
excellent. Okay, he's got 2 reactive superpowers. Let me finish the passives. He's got flight and immunity shock.
Nice.
Nice. Handy, very thematic. And then, like I said, he's got 2 reactive superpowers. First one is called Live Wire. It's 2 power. When an enemy character ends a movement within 3 of this character may use the superpower, roll 4 dice. The enemy character suffers a damage for each crit and hit rolled. That's good. Hit is more prevalent than wilds, which is what you usually see in this sort of ability. So he's getting a chance, 3 out of 8 chance for each die to inflict 1 damage. And, again, this is the thing. He either moves towards you, or if you move towards him, it's a problem. The second reactive superpower is called Electrostatic. It only costs 1 power. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, it may use the superpower. If the attacking character is within 3, it suffers 1 damage and gains the shock special condition. Okay, so... I think these are really interesting. I think they give you the ability, if a character moves towards you, you have something you can do to them. And if they attack you, you can do something back to them. So a lot of reactive superpower, like a lot of reactive damage, making you not wanting to attack this guy in some senses.
Yeah, or move near him.
Yeah.
Have you played against Electro?
Yes, and it's awful.
It's horrific.
He worries me the entire game. The entire game. I'm actually prioritizing him oftentimes, but he's so squirrely. He's so slippery. It's hard to actually get a hold of him.
Yeah, 100%. It's so much a mental tax because it's like, okay, if I move, I get live wired. If I attack him, I get electrostatic. Like it's horrible. So I'm going to run away from him. Oh no, he's chased me from the other side of the board.
Exactly.
And he's attacking me twice, no matter what. So, it's horrible. He does so much and covers so much ground.
Yeah, I agree. So he's been a big problem in Spiderfoes. Now, he's very splashable as a result of all these abilities as well. Question is what can he do in his other affiliation, which is Criminal Syndicate? So, Kingpin, okay, so what he could do is he can get around the board and get onto a point that nobody's looking after. And so that's nice because he could, get someplace very far away from where he is, and suddenly now you've got a character worth 2 sitting on the point that you weren't planning for. Shadowland Daredevil, because of the fact that he can reach out and touch anybody, basically, that's helpful then to be able to re-roll into people who are holding things.
Because he's
points.
Basically every activation he's going to attack twice. So he's getting those re-rolls twice,
I don't think he helps MODOK too terribly much, or Claw for that matter.
Yeah, that's fair. So Crims, again, running theme in this box. The criminal side is fine, but these guys are Spiderfoes, I think. They're completely designed for Spiderfoes, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think he's great. He's terrifying to play against. He's always got, what he wants to do is happening because he can be anywhere he wants. He's attacking you twice, and then the traps are horrible. Feels very Spiderfoesy. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he could be part of that trap house style of play that Spiderfoes was known for when they first came out. So he might actually be okay in Greek Goblin leadership as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, very true. I think, pushing little bits of damage through, chip damage. One of the best losses, probably the best loss I ever had actually, was against Thomas Vickers. This was a couple of years ago. This was before these guys came out. And it was against Spiderfoes, and we were on his spider-infected extract, which in the power phase you get moved around. And it was against, he had Goblin and Mysterio, and he would use those spider-infected to move me and then trigger all the traps. Oh, so boy. I was taking so much what's it called? Chip damage. I was taking so much chip damage. Yeah. And he was just killing me through, like death by 1,000 cuts. And, our local Spiderfoes player, Archie, he likes to play Mayor Fisk, which is the secure that moves around, because you move the secure that your opponent's just scored away from them, meaning they have to now move to get back onto it. And then those moves trigger Livewire from Electro and Tricks and Chats from Mysterio. They all trigger each other. And Tricks and Chat, when Mysterio makes the opponent advance, that can trigger Livewire as well. So it's just a horrible, very Spiderfoesy kind of, weaving these traps together and then just, laughing maniacally, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really fun to be able to do reactive superpowers in general, because it keeps you really engaged in the game as well.
Yeah. Anyone who's played another war game, I've tried some recently, naming no names, there are no reactions. You spend half an hour watching your opponent move their 50 models, and then they roll dice at you, and then you roll your dice. And this is where MCP is, it shines brightest, is all these reactives and these traps. And very thematic stuff as well, because again, Spiderfoes, it's all traps. It's all just like tricks and schemes, and that's exactly what this is. So yeah, I think Electro embodies that perfectly.
And if nothing else, it also puts mental tax on your opponent if there's so many reactives in the game. Because they're trying to calculate not only what they can do, but what you're going to do back to them.
Yeah, for sure. My first game against Electro, I stupidly saw his stat line of 3-4-3 and 6 health and thought, oh cool, I play Storm. I know that they die easily, so I'm just going to punch him in the face. And my God, he's got a lot going on. It's not that simple. You can't just go and punch this guy in the face. He's doing things, around you. It's horrible.
Yep.
So, yeah. You mentioned how splashable he is. Do you want to talk about other affiliations?
I don't know. I feel like it's just in general, being able to move around a lot and attack things is quite handy.
That's actually you're right, that's a good characteristic for a splash character, is one that can do their kit on their own. Right, he's self-sufficient. As long as he gains his own power, he can do all his tricks and stuff. So
that's right.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that he works really well under, I mean, this is stupid because everyone does, but under Captain America 1 Avengers, because Ride the Wires and Livewire both cost 2, so they're going to cost 1 under that leadership. Means he can ride the wires round 1, so he can move to nearer terrain, or maybe not even move. He can just be near terrain within 3 from the deploy
within 3.
Yeah,
that's a long way.
Exactly. So you could deploy him within something, range 3. Pay 1, which you'll have round 1. Place him within 2. He's probably exactly where you want him, and then he attacks twice. Yeah, which is crazy. And then for same reason he works in the Professor X, because he has reactive superpowers, which is really good for Professor X because it triggers the leadership on the opponent's turn, so it's more power being given out. But one thing I did want to shout out was I played against this guy. I played against Chris Wills, who was running Electro under Magneto Brotherhood.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. How could I forget? That was so good.
It was so good. So I was like, I know what Magneto does. You're going to do an Asteroid M thing. You're going to make Juggernaut run at me, round 1, and then you're going to Asteroid M Magneto into me. And that's the whole shtick, right? That's Magneto's big thing, because it's like, bang, surprise, I'm here and I'm attacking you round 1. Big attacks, big scary Magneto attacks. And I prepared for that. What I didn't prepare for was that he deployed Magneto's construct, which is terrain, within 3 of Electro. So round 1, all Magneto's team has to do, someone just needs to destroy something, which Juggernaut can do round 1. He can just move and then run through something and trigger a power for the leadership. For a 1 power to Electro, who can then pay 2 to ride the wires through the construct and be, way further up the board without having taken an action yet. And hilariously, because he keeps the construct around, Magneto can then activate and just throw the construct at me. So it's horrible. And then he has Asteroid M in the pocket because he hasn't used Asteroid M yet. So you've been bombed by Electro. And then
I think when he played me, I don't think he even took Asteroid M.
Really?
Because he didn't need to, because the Electro was doing a lot of the work, believe it or not.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. How could I forget? Yeah. So anything like that, well, that's super good because of the construct and the power movement. But anything that can give him extra power.
Yeah, for sure. He'll just come alive. His whole kit activates. So yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that's them. I mean, I want to do a sleeve it or heave it before.
Whoa! We got a tactics card.
Oh, do we?
Yes, we do. So first of all, he's part of founding members. So listen to the previous episode if you want to understand how he works in that card. But he also has his own card called Static Arc,
which we covered last episode.
Did we? Oh, yes, of course.
Sandman.
Look at you. You're clever. Yeah, so basically it's a team up with Sandman. And he doesn't add... He's the easier part of this card to pull off. He's just got to be... pay a power, basically.
He's got to pay a power and be within 5 of someone, which he will be. So yeah, I think again, team up cards are really fun and awesome, and you should 100% play all the team up cards you can when you have cool casual fun nights. But when you go into competitive sweaty tournaments, maybe leave these cards behind. But yeah, this is it's a cool fun card.
Cool.
All right, so sleeve it or heave it?
Sleeve it or heave it.
Sleeve it or heave it. Take it or leave it. Sleeve it or heave it. Can't you believe it?
All right, I've brought a card along, Norbert, this week. I would like to talk about Sinister Traps.
Oh my goodness, classic.
Yes,
classic.
We can't talk about the Sinister Six without this. So, or Spiderfoes in general, actually, without Sinister Traps. So Sinister Traps is there you go, you got it. Do you want to read it out?
Yeah. So it's a Spiderfoes card. It is probably their one of their signature cards.
Yes.
It's reactive. Any allied character may play this card during the first power phase, so right at the beginning of the game. Choose an objective token. The first time a character ends a movement within 2 of that objective token, roll 5 dice. The moving character suffers a damage for each crit hit or wild. If the character suffered damage, it is pushed short. That's the annoying part. Character's opponent resolves the push.
Yes, there you go. So yeah, this is absolutely a staple Sinister Six, Spiderfoes-esque card. It's another trap. Your opponent gets to laugh maniacally when it goes off. It's brilliant. And at least 50% of the time, Spiderfoes players remember to play it. So there's my first top tip with this card is please remember to play it. Put it in front of you. And me and Norbert are X-Men players, so we know the pain because we have to remember first class. So what do? We get first class and we put it bang in the middle of the mat so we can't forget it. Do that with this card.
Yep.
Yes. So the strength of this is you all the crisis tokens are laid out. Both teams have deployed. You can see exactly what your opponent's trying to do, and then you choose when the trap goes down. It's really, really cool. And again, speaking as X-Men players, this can really mess us up. Because
if you're a character who has to double move to the thing that this is on, you're screwed. You can't. Well, I mean, you can't pick it up, or you can't stand next to it to secure it because it pushes you short. That's the bitch of it. You need to have some sort of ability to either get there in just one action, or have some sort of superpower that lets you then bounce back up onto the point.
Yeah, exactly. Most safe grabs, what we call safe grabs, people that can grab an extract and then move back to safety. They don't stand on the midline with the extract, like an idiot. Most of those are turned off by this card. They make it way harder to pull off. Well, actually, I think they're all impossible, maybe, potentially.
Well, I think people with aggressive...
I think kind of aggressive on this, because it's aggressive is enemy attack.
Does it say attack? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So like every other Spiderfoes trick, there are some heavy drawbacks to this. Which you should be aware of, which again is why I think the theme of this card is perfect, because it's a big smart trap that they've all worked together to put down, and then it can be foiled by something and accidentally help their opponent. So things like the healing factor. So if say an X-23 goes and picks up, triggers the trap, they'll take damage and then they will healing factor off, and you've just powered them up basically. So that's quite good. I don't mind sending healing factor characters into it. Also, someone like Honey Badger can just go and trigger it. She wasn't going to pick it up anyway, and then she'll heal in fact some of it, and she's just got a bunch of power. And yeah, so you want to be careful. Also, the most beautiful Spiderfoes moment, because it feels very Spiderfoesy if you used to watch the animated cartoon, which to be fair, if you're interested in Spiderfoes, you probably have come here because you like the cartoon, is that you can trigger it as well. You can be thrown into it and the trap will go off in your face. So like a Juggernaut, maybe, you can move twice, generate 3 power round 1, and then play his Do You Know Who I Am card and throw one of your Spiderfoes into the trap, which will trigger the trap, and then, leave it available for them to pick up. So yeah, it can. There's some stuff to be careful of, but I think for the most part, don't overthink this. Just chuck it on something that your opponent's going to go for and that you are not going to go for. That's an important part as well. Yeah. Maybe don't put it on the middle extract, because if they then choose to not pick up the middle extract and pick up something else, you don't really benefit because you now can't really pick up the middle extract without triggering it yourself. Yeah. So yeah,
characters with a healing factor are good to try to disarm this trap.
Yes. Yeah.
And as I said, ones that have extra movement somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, great card. Very, very Spiderfoesy. I love it. And just feels really on theme. So should we sum up Spiderfoes now that we've gone through their affiliation?
I thought so. Yeah, I think we should reflect on what the affiliation is like now in the meta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like I have to say, I think that the hype was extreme when they were announced when the box came out. But I feel like they're not bad, but it's certain they haven't become an overwhelming force within the meta currently.
Yeah. So I agree with that. I think that their day is still to come. I think that don't they have a card called that? This is our day. I think that there'll be a day where they can say this is our day. I think that the game they're trying to play is Crisis. They're trying to score points because they have Lizard, one of the best point holders in the game. They have Rhino, one of the best point stealers in the game. Doc Ock is amazing. They've got Sandman and Vulture, who are great secure players. Electro can chase stuff down like no one else. So I think they're playing a really, really strong Crisis team. I actually think, and this is my bias showing maybe, I think that they're not getting enough love right now because Hellfire exists. And I think that Hellfire, and speaking as a Hellfire player, I think that Hellfire basically plays Spiderfoes characters, but better. Because in Hellfire, you're always taking Rhino, you're always taking Lizard, right?
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. And you're scoring those points, and the leadership is, very, very strong. You're healing and gaining extra power. Now, I think if you were to remove Hellfire, if it was to get banned or changed, right, which a lot of people are calling for, myself included, then if that were to go, I actually think that Spiderfoes fit that slot in a really nice and fair way. I think that they are fair. I've often called them fair Hellfire because you punch them, you play the game by punching them. They then get extra power to do all their stuff, which is what Hellfire is. The problem with Hellfire is that they get the extra power to always do their stuff, even if you don't interact with them. Spiderfoes, if you interact with them and don't kill them outright, they're going to be able to do all their stuff. So I think that their day could come. I think they're in a really good spot. And I hate playing against them because I play Crisis teams and they're a Crisis team that can also fight.
Exactly.
Them versus X-Men kind of sucks because they're as good at the Crisis as X-Men are, I think, but these guys can punch really hard. So can X-Men, but yeah.
I think they're tanky, attrition-oriented, like anti-scenario play, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah.
In other words, that they're not so interested in scoring points. Of course, they do, but they stop you from doing stuff as much, either by being able to get to you or throwing on doing the Sinister's trap.
Yeah.
Or friggin' Mysterio blowing up his Grand Illusion around you. They're kind of like the denial faction in some senses.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And so it's really interesting. Now, what I also think they are is they reward big brain plays. So the more you'll feel very big brained if you can get these guys to do the things that they want to do.
Yeah.
So they take practice, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. And if you don't manage to pull off the things they want to do, then it was just a big flavor thing, because your master scheme was thwarted, probably by a teenager. So it's all very Spiderfoesy. So if you lose, you kind of win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at the affiliation list. I'm just trying to see if any of the characters, aside from the new Box and Doc Ock 2 as a leadership, which are the other ones that we see a lot of? And I think you mentioned Rhino and Lizard. I think that's true. Yeah. I think Mysterio is underplayed.
Yes. Mysterio is amazing. Every
big
time he's
nuisance.
Yeah, 100%. Every time he's brought up around anyone, they say how amazing he is. I think Mysterio is incredible. And in the hands of someone like Tom Brown, who's been playing Mysterio for 2.5 years and knows exactly how to play him, it's insane. I had a game the other day where I had Cable and Baron Zemo, so that's 5, 6, 8 threat of characters completely kept on one side of the board by Mysterio single-handedly. They just couldn't deal with him because he was traps in, he was moving away, he was advancing them. It was horrible. And that was, with someone who really knew what they were doing. So yeah, Mysterio is underplayed. You should play more Mysterio for sure.
Other characters that you don't see play much with them that are affiliated are Venom, Kraven the Hunter, Kingpin, Green Goblin you do occasionally see. But you don't see Carnage either, sadly.
Yes, sadly. I think a lot of people love Carnage, and he just doesn't cut the mustard in today's meta. There's a lot of energy going around. He just gets shot and dies. Similar with Venom. I think Venom's speed lets him down. Venom's amazing. You're seeing a lot of Venom at the moment, not in Spiderfoes, because you got like Mephisto who can use him as a bodyguard, and then Venom can hit back and stuff, which is fun. But yeah, I think Venom, some of these characters are old. But Venom and Carnage are old characters, and Kingpin as well, old characters, and they don't quite hold up as well as they used to. But they're very close, I think. I think a tweak, if we were to see an errata, some sort of like maybe a web swing on Venom would completely change his kit, I think. Kraven, I hear a lot about Kraven. He's actually pretty great, just underplayed, because when he hits the same guy twice, he gets a bunch of bonuses and stuff. So Kraven's great. I think they're all like good, honest MCP models, right? Rhino
100%.
Rhino had This Is a Robbery, and it was a bit egregious, and it's been nerfed since. Quite hard to pull off. And I play him in Hellfire, who are the ultimate, like, we can break the game faction. And they, Robbery doesn't quite work there. I think in Spiderfoes, Robbery is amazing still, because under Doc Ock, he gets all that extra power. So Rhino is top tier in Spiderfoes. I think every game you play Doc Ock, Rhino, Lizard, and then you add whoever the hell you want, and you're going to have a great time.
Yeah. Do you think Lizard has weathered well in the new meta?
I think so, yeah. I think he's just too good. Damage reduction and healing factor is just insane. So, and under Doc Ock, he gets, if you do 1 damage to him, he's got his throw online next round. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, he's really, really good, Lizard, yeah.
I should mention Doc Ock 1 is also affiliated, but you tend to only see him if you're playing Green Goblin's leadership, because they have some synergies between each other.
Yeah,
so,
you got Well-Laid Plans, which is another cool card, yeah.
Very cool card.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't really see those two anymore, sadly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about Doc Ock 2.
Yeah, Doc Ock 2 is fantastic. He's very, very good, very consistent, has a lot of kit. You'll have very busy turns with him and be very happy with him. And also the double wild thing, if you like slot machines, 1 in every 3 games, he's just going to go crazy with that double wild thing on his builder. So yeah. I think if I were a betting man, if there was an errata coming up, I think we'd see something happen to Green Goblin, because he's very close to being fantastic.
Yeah, so true.
And I think, my God, Spiderfoes will be fantastic. If they have Green Goblin as like their kind of attrition pivot, they're going to open up so much, and it's going to be great. So I think, now's a great time to try Spiderfoes. I'm tempted, and I only play mutants, and I'm tempted by these guys. They're really cool.
Yeah, I think your brains could be up to the task of working them properly.
It's just the Sandman puzzle, man. People were like unlocking characters, Sandman and Mysterio. Like that, you can invest so much time into them, and you'll get some love back.
Also, on a side note, they are very widely held to be having the most beautiful models, sculptures in the game. As an overall faction.
Yeah, for sure. I think Lizard is my favorite model in the game. Actually.
It's so thematic. The water that he's splashing out of, or the sewage, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And Doc Ock 2 looks awesome.
Yeah, the little the kind of beaker thing he's holding with the liquid going in. Yeah, it's really cool. Sandman is awesome. This is a team that if someone asked me to introduce them to MCP, I'd play this team. Like, they look awesome. They just look, it's a bunch of goons. Yeah, visually beautiful, and just a bunch of goons with traps. Like, it's great.
Yeah. Let's take a quick look at Longshanks to see how they're rating. Am I looking at the right page? Longshanks better than me. Then.
That's the affiliation ranking,
Okay, affiliation ranking as of today, which is early December. Where are these bad boys? Uh-oh.
No, we're still scrolling. They're above X-Men.
Where do I see
19th.
X-Men? Oh yeah, there we are. Oh yeah, 19th out of 29.
The important button there is to click leaders.
Okay.
So this is the big thing. So here we have Green Goblin. What is that? 49%?
49% win rate.
And Doc Ock 47%. Oh my God.
47%.
That's low. That's surprisingly low.
Still fair. Still within the 10% deviation range.
That's true.
Around 50.
That is true. Yeah. Well,
but yes, they're hard to play. I think they're hard to play.
I think they're hard to play. It's a extremely high ceiling, I think.
Yes.
And also they suffer
high, what you want to say is high floor and high ceiling.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. High floor and high ceiling. Yeah. So lots to learn with them, lots to unlock. And I think that, affiliations that are popular, their Longshanks result suffers because of that, because people get into the game for the first time and they go, cool, I'm going to play Cyclops leadership and all the X-Men, because they love X-Men 97, as they should. And Cyclops is the best leader in the comics. But then it's probably the worst leadership and the hardest one to get right, if you're playing for the first time. So the numbers suffer. So I think there's an element of that. Maybe that's me being biased to X-Men and Spiderfoes, but I think there's an element of that. Because maybe, the Spiderfoes players I played, they destroy me. Like Tom Brown, Archie Cable, Angus. I get destroyed.
I don't look forward to playing against them, honestly.
No, it's so much work. It's so much mental tax. So I think, again, it's more proof that, once you get your eye in with them, it's going to be really good.
Fun fact on this list, A-Force is slotted below Sentinels.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
Interesting. With half the amount of games, though. So data and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
A-Force are another list, though, that are, I think, one tweak away from being monstrous. Absolutely monstrous. I lost to A-Force at WTC. I couldn't believe it. It was the best A-Force player in the world, but my God, I realized how good that team is, They're kind of let down by She-Hulk being a little bit subpar, and she's not far off. Just a couple tweaks to She-Hulk, and my God, that'd be so good. And their affiliation list is amazing. Anyway, sorry.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. Always change is always a constant in this game.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. I think that wraps us up for this episode, yes?
Yes, it does.
Where can people find us, and more importantly, give us money?
That's a very Spiderfoes thing for you to say. We're trying to rob a bank. This is a stick-up. Go to our Patreon.
This is a stick-up. This is a robbery.
This is a robbery. Go to the description and give us your money on the Patreon, please. Yes, we have to pay for things like podcast being on the internet and Zoom subscriptions and all that stuff. So yes, if you want to support the podcast, please go to our Patreon. And whiskey. Yes, Norbert has a horrible drinking problem he has to maintain just to get through these episodes. Please subscribe to our Patreon.
And expensive taste, sadly. I'm not drinking that Jim Beam. No, not Jim Beam. What's some classic British liquor that's like
cheap whiskey?
Cheap whiskey.
Cheap whiskey. Yeah. I'm Googling it. I'm
not
much of a drinker.
Just think back. A couple of years
Jack
ago.
Daniels? Is that cheap?
No, come on. No. I'm thinking like boom.
White Lightning. It's not whiskey, but it's cheap.
Yeah. Actually, if you're drinking cheap in Britain, it's to drink a really bad cider. That's what I see all the dudes in the street drinking.
In my 20s, my go-to drink was Tesco own brand cider. It's great. It's great. Is
it really good, or are you being ironic?
Well, it's like apple juice. It's me not really being a connoisseur of alcohol.
Industrial alcohol poured into it.
Basically. I had a good time.
All right. Well, if people want to support that kind of drinking, how can they do it?
Patreon in the description somewhere. Yes. Go and have a
Patreon.
Look. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we have a Discord and we have a Facebook page. Feel free to interact with us on those two different places.
Yes, please do. All right.
Most importantly, though, thanks for listening.
And play Tricks and Traps cards.
It's Sinners and Traps.
Yeah, that one.
That one. All right. Thank you.